Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 deleted movie scenes that went too far. In the world of filmmaking, not every scene that's shot makes it to the final cut. Sometimes, these deleted scenes are removed because they push the boundaries of what's acceptable for audiences. From unsettling moments of violence to disturbing concepts, these scenes were considered too intense or dark for the big screen. Join us as we explore the chilling and controversial moments that were left on the cutting room floor, showing just how far filmmakers were willing to go before deciding to pull back. Get ready for a journey into the darkest corners of cinema as we unveil these deleted movie scenes that crossed the line. The theater shooting, Gangsta Squad. In a scene from Gangsta Squad's initial edit, several actors fire submachine guns into the audience at Grauman's Chinese Theater. However, James Holmes opened fire on a movie theater in Colorado barely 2 months after the video was released, killing 12 people and injuring 70 others. Following the incident, the Gangsta Squad trailer was taken down, and the scene was entirely cut from the movie. Later, in order to make room for the required reshoots, the movie's release date was pushed back. Even if the scene itself may not have been as intense as some others on our list today, Warner Brothers deserves praise for deciding to exclude it out of respect for the victims and their families. The eyeball scene from Beyond. An eyeball scene from Divergent was also omitted because it was deemed too violent. So censors must have something against eyeballs. Anyways, Dr. Dillinghast bites out a doctor's eyeball in one particularly gruesome scene from Beyond before eating her brains out of her wounded eye socket. Yeah, just saying it makes me feel sick. According to director Stuart Gordon, he was severely admonished by the MPAA and compelled to modify the sequence, which diminished its intended impact. Later, the entirely grisly, unrated version was made public. Although horror enthusiasts might adore it, the ordinary viewer is probably going to prefer the MPAA-approved version. Baby Evan strangles himself in The Butterfly Effect. Look, the subject of infant deaths is never easy. It was planned for it to have a baby death in 2017, but they opted against it. Perhaps because it was too unsettling. For a movie in which an alien entity devours children, she's saying a lot. In The Butterfly Effect's dramatic conclusion, Evan burns his notebooks after successfully rewriting the timeline. In the original ending, it was far more gloomier. In the director's cut, Evan goes back in time and uses his own umbilical cord to strangle himself while still in the womb. While some could contend that it's the most satisfying conclusion, others might counter that witnessing an infant commit suicide is a bit much. Next on our list is The Taming Party from Zootopia, as it covers some highly challenging subject matter like corruption, racism, xenophobia. Zootopia is undoubtedly one of Disney's darkest and most adult films. It could have been much darker. One idea, which was never implemented, involved Judy and Nick infiltrating a gathering known as a taming party. A juvenile bear was given a shock collar during the taming process, which all predators must do to control their natural tendencies. It's a heartbreaking glimpse into how dark the picture could have been, and a fascinating scene that demonstrates how dramatically a movie can alter from conception to completion. Next on our list, Alex's death in Jaws. Young Alex's demise is among the film's most frightful and well-known sequences. Even if there's only a tiny foundation of blood visible to us, the scene is nonetheless immensely unsettling and could have been far worse. Jaws, biting on the young boy as it emerged from the water during the first filming of the scenario. Even older images of the mechanical shark and the dummy used to replace the young actor can be seen online. But a much less explicit version of the sequence was included, which was probably for the better. Without needing to overtly depict a youngster being chomped by a shark, Jaws nonetheless had a significant impact. Bruce's suicide attempt in The Incredible Hulk. The young may find suicide to be a little too challenging and frightening. Bruce's journey to the Arctic Circle in an effort to end his life was shown in a sequence for the Incredible Hulk. Bruce, a human, is seen crouching in the snow and pulling a rifle. He cocks it, and after that, transforms into the Hulk, shattering the weapon in his palm. The suicide attempt was left out of the finished film because the filmmaker and different Marvel executives felt it was too gloomy for young viewers. Next on our list is Scream. Scream's opening sequence is spooky enough without blood and guts all over the place. Scream's R rating was extremely difficult for Wes Craven to obtain. He submitted up to 8 different versions to the MPAA, and all of them received an NC-17 rating as a result of the film's severe violence. The sequence where Steve died was one of the troublesome ones. Steve's internal organs may have been seen falling out of his stomach in the original cut. Wes removed the organ shot to concentrate entirely on Steve's dying face after the MPAA ruled that organs could not be seen moving. The organ shot, though, was eventually added to several home video releases. Katie slashing her own throat in Paranormal Activity makes our list. In the conclusion of Paranormal Activity, it is undoubtedly not a cheerful one, but it could have been far worse. Of course, how dark you like your endings will probably influence your assessment on whether or not eliminating the scene was a smart decision. In the movie, a bleeding Katie with a demonic appearance enters the scene and rushes to the camera. Pretty ominous. A different conclusion, however, was filmed by Paramount and features Katie grinning at the camera before she slits her own throat and disappears from view. This conclusion was ultimately rejected, perhaps because there was no room for a sequel, but it is still available on the DVD. Next on our list is Cocoons from Alien. One of the most terrifying sci-fi horror films ever made is Alien. But if you think it's already terrifying, reconsider. Ripley was going to come upon alien cocoons before holding Dallas and Brett captive in a scene. Before burning Dallas alive inside the cocoon, she briefly converses with him while he is still barely conscious. Ripley's act of putting them on fire is ugly, and the sight of Dallas imprisoned in the cocoon is horrifying and terribly disturbing. This scene was removed for pacing purposes, but for the morbidly curious among you, a condensed version of it may be found in the director's cut. Next on our list is the famous sacrifice scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Because of its graphic brutality, the Temple of Doom is frequently regarded as the weaker Indiana Jones film in the original trilogy. And while the notorious, heartbreaking sequence contributed to the PG-13 rating, the original concept might have taken the film to the R category. In the original sequence, Molo Ram's character was lowered into a lava pit after having his heart removed, just as he does in the theatrical version. In contrast, the tragedy was to have his body gradually decompose once it came into contact with the lava, so that all was left was his floating face. Unsurprisingly, this concept was abandoned because it was too upsetting. And there you have it, our list of the top 10 deleted movie scenes that went too far. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to our Patreon and support our channel's ability to keep adding more videos. These scenes may have been too intense for the final film, but they offer a glimpse into the daring and boundary-pushing nature of the filmmaking process. If you've enjoyed this countdown, be sure to subscribe for more intriguing film-related content, and as always, ring the bell and stay updated with our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, some scenes are just too much for the silver screen. And there you have it, our list of the top 10 deleted movie scenes that went too far. These scenes may have been too intense for the final film, but they offer a glimpse into the daring and boundary-pushing nature of the film-making process. If you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to subscribe for more intriguing film-related content, and as always, ring the bell and stay updated to our latest videos. Guys, we do have a Patreon. Look for that in the description of this video, and suggest more top 10 videos that you would like to see me cover right there on Patreon. You can keep commenting here too, but definitely we'll love your support on Patreon.